So in this second box, let's see what we did here. Oh, man. Oh, no. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to skeffscomicknowledge. I am Skeff, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I appreciate it because this is going to be a fun one, and I can't wait. So right here next to me are going to be two CGC pre-screen unboxes that have been there since February. I know I shipped them out in February. These were received on March 5th, and they just arrived today. So a whopping of over 3 months since I've seen these books that I've sent them off. And in the time that we have been waiting, things have happened at CGC. New employees, new processing, new prices, longer turnaround times. Crazy things have been going on, and I am interested to see how it has affected the books to my left. I'm a little nervous about this one. This is the longest time I've had any books waiting at CGC other than like a magazine, and I was one of those. But let's just get right into it. But if you please so kind, Hulk smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video of some epic content. Hopefully you're not waiting any further for books to come back from CGC for you. I know it's been a long wait for me. And let's just get right into it and see what we got for this first one. Now, granted, we know they're all going to be 9/8, so if they got graded, they're going to be a 9/8, and we'll find out what the rejects are at the end of the video and go through each one of them individually and see how we did. I went ahead and just set the box down a little bit easier that way. So always save your material from the wrapping. Oh. It's not good. There's not many books in here that got graded. So that's the thing. Well, let's see how this goes. This is off to a bad start then, shall we? Off to a bad start. Oh man. Oh, well, it can only get better, right? It can only get better from here. There's only nine graded books. I know there are a couple big books in here that I was hoping that would come back in high grades, and if they did, that kind of helps out a little bit, but there's one really funny book that I submitted, so let's see here. Oh man, I just had a little bit of a panic attack. The first book that I that I opened up, it was so funny. I was like, not only were there 9 books, for a second I thought they submitted it like upside down, but they didn't, so that was, oh man, my heart jumped for a second. I was like, well, this is off to the worst CGC unboxing on Skeff's channel in the history of CGC unboxings. We're going to have a ride on this one then, shall we? I'm going to try to get on camera. This is just a really cool Spawn 163. Came out in 2006. Just an older, low print run Spawn book. Really cool. The next book up that we got 9/8 in is... Hey, alright, that's kind of a cool book. Picked this up a little bit ago. That it was just a really cool David Finch, Uncanny X-Men 1 in 10. It wasn't any variant or ratio. It was just a underordered cover B at the time. So I thought it was a really cool book. Yeah, guys, please stick around to the very end. I'm going to try to go over this as quick as I can through the 9/8 because we know what they're going to be 9/8. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, man, that's just made up for everything. If I was only to get 9 books to come back in a 9/8, this is one of them that I'm stoked to come back in a 9/8. Look at that beauty right there. I know Comic Andy loves this book right there, buddy. Yeah! Not bad when you pay like 30 bucks for this book for a 9/8. Man. Whew, alright. This made up for everything. That is awesome. Okay, so guys, stick around to the very end. I'm going to go over in detail why these books got rejected. I'm fascinated to see what happened. Normally I have a pretty good track record. We also got a... Oh, yes! Alright. Alright, for 9 books, got 2 bangers. That's no complaint about that one. This is a great, oh man, Century #1, San Diego Comic-Con. Oh man, that's wicked. Alright. Woo! Maybe they just took pity on me. That was a great shape though. So, heck yeah, San Diego Comic #1. That is exciting. So, stoked about this one. Next one up, we have, oh, very cool, very cool. These 3 Campbell covers, 606, 601, and 608, have really caught some fire recently, so happy to get this one in a 9/8. Oh, let's go. All right, for the 9 books, I've gotten some fire bangers for the 9 books. This is a Bitterroot #5 Del Mundo cover. Oh, sweet. This book was at stupid high prices. Now they've come back down to reality a little bit, but they may go back up. They may go back up. So who knows? But yeah, it's a great looking David Mack cover. Bitterroot #4. So awesome. Really looking forward to this show. Great read, by the way. Highly recommend reading it if you haven't. Last book of this 9. Oh, man. Ugh. All right. Oh, hey, this is the fun one. This is just the What If the Punisher #1. This book just picked up steam recently. Like, the raw books are going for like 20 to 40 depending on which cover. I do believe there's 3 different covers for this series, and I think the most valuable one is the John Tyler Christopher action figure cover. But not a bad one to pick up, because like, what if they do this for like the What If series? That'd be pretty cool. Actually, a really fun one-shot if you haven't read it. So the first book that didn't make the cut is going to be the Spider-Man Life Story 125 variant. This is an easy one to tell. There's just going to be 2, I'm trying to get them on camera, just 2 indentations there on the spine there that are pressable, but that's why I didn't make the 9/8 on that one. The next book up that I got to reject is the Spider-Gwen Shannon Mayer. It said there's a bend right top of back cover. All right, I can see the bend on the top right, but it's one of the things where you're like, you know, it's just like, if you can see it there, it's just going to be, yep, right there. That one didn't get 9/8 for that reason. This really cool Batman book here, you got a small bend left bottom of front cover. It has a pretty heavy dent on this one. This is the one where, if you can see it right there, I don't know if I think this is something I probably would have noticed if I was going to submit it. I'll go back and watch my videos and double check, but this is something I think I would have noticed right there on the front cover by the UPC code. This is really cool Venom 27 Moko. Didn't make the cut, but this one I do believe was my mistake on. There should be a giant line running across the front there that is a defect on that one. So another thing that's pressable, but I think that's how I received them, and that's something I just overlooked. That's my fault. At the end of the day, it's one of the things where like, do everything you can to make sure you don't miss anything. But so far, that Batman probably wouldn't make the cut with that spine break there on the bottom. But the other 3 would probably make the cut on a press and then resubmit. This Venom 27 Myers version, this one has a little indent on the back of the book, which is probably why it did make cut. That's the only thing I could find wrong with this copy. The other reject can be the War of the Realms from Ages to Atlas #1. This is a book that I was 50-50 on, and I'll show you why it's 50-50. Things to look forward and to pay attention to on your new books when you purchase them nowadays, because the ink they're using, it has all that rubbing on there. So that's why this one didn't make the cut. So if you guys see any books that have that rubbing, it's a 50-50 toss-up for what they'll accept and what they won't accept. Well, I do get a lot of bubble wrap out of this. Hope you guys are enjoying this kind of breakdown. I'm sorry there's not as many books. I mean, I'm just as disappointed as you guys that there's not as many books to show off for grading. But at the end of the day, it's one of these very informative things where you take this information you've received from CGC on the rejects and you kind of go forward with it, because now you need to be more careful than ever on what books you send in to get pre-screened if you want to. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take, you know, a long time for books to come back. And if you want to fast track them to maybe get them bumped up maybe about 2 months faster, then you really got to be careful. Now the CGC fees to get them graded is more expensive. CGC reject fees are more expensive. So now you have to be, you can't just be sending kind of any more random stuff out there. You got to be super careful nowadays, because everything costs a lot more. And especially when you get something like this, which is really depressing, when you only got 15 books out of, you know, or not even 15 books, when you have only 9 that made the cut. We only had 9 that made the cut for a CGC. That's super disappointing. So this one was really interesting. I have 2 of these that got rejected. Both these say tears back cover spine. These were I put them in a different bag and board when I sent them off. So yeah, I can't really find anything wrong with the spine or any tears on here that would that'd be significant enough to cause this to not get a 9/8. There are some indentations where the staples are, and I'll show you those. Those are pretty obvious. That would not qualify this for right there. So like, I can see that why not made the 9/8, but I don't see anything about tears to the spine that is anything out of the normal. So that's a bit disappointing on these. And I guess the tears on this one are a little more obvious, but it's a little weird. So it's going to be even harder to get them on camera. But there's like little white spots on the bottom, in the middle of the spine there, and that's really about it. Oh, there's one viewer that I did this one for that I really wanted to get him a 9/8 on this book. It was a guy that's been watching the channel for a while, and if you're watching now, I tried to get you this. You may already have it, but he has a whole run of Amazing Spider-Man in a 9/8, and he was just missing this one. Oh, here's the other one. So, like I said, not all was lost in this submission. My one copy of Darth Vader #3 made the cut, and this other one did not make the cut. This other one did not make the cut for pretty obvious reasons. This was one that I didn't have pressed or anything, that I did pick up, and it had some significant wear on the back, like I was telling you with that like I was telling you with the War of the Realms book. So this one has that wear on the bottom cover, right there, and it has indentations there. So it's one of the things where like I might press it to retry it and see what happens, because it's still a good book to get. So this definitely needs a press and then resent out. Just a really cool Spawn cover that I really liked a lot, that I picked up back when I first collecting, that did not make the cut. I thought it would. The 162 and 163 I bought at the same exact time, so this one didn't make the cut. And this one is something that I've definitely probably missed, is that there's bends right there on the back there. So nothing a simple press couldn't get out. Just little things like this you definitely can't overlook anymore. You really got to take your time going forward nowadays, and hopefully you guys can like learn from my mistakes so you don't make them yourself. Finally, the last book of the worst CGC pre-screen submission I have done on this channel is Amazing Spider-Man 800, the Del Auto wraparound cover. And this is one where I figured was on the cusp, because this is one where it didn't need a press or anything, but it did have some rubbing on the bottom with like one little white tick. So you can see it pretty easily right there, where you got the rubbing, the white right there. So that's why this one didn't make the cut. So pretty obvious there. But yeah, look at that though. Look, received March 5th, due date April 16th. Missed a little bit. Missed on that one. You're just off by a little bit. Due date April 16th. Hilarious. This one has multiple stress lines to front cover. This one I think I got at like a show or something like that. That's pretty obvious right there. So this one's probably my bad. Probably my mess up on there. So as you can see, just this multiple spine stress lines right there across the front. Really can do nothing about that. Oh man, my other Del Mundo did not make the cut. Small bend right bottom of back cover. This is really small, but it does impact most of the book though. This is one I picked up off the shelf, so something I probably just overlooked as well. So if you can see that right there, just a small bend there that kind of crinkles it and breaks that color. So that's probably I just make a 9/8. Yeah, this one I shouldn't have submitted. This is just, oh man, this is in really rough shape. So I'm not sure what happened here. I'll go back and double check, but this was really bad shape. There's scuffs on the back there, on the back over here, on the back over here. So this one, yeah, there's no way this would ever have made a candidate. So that's a weird one. That they switched my book. No, I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. They didn't switch the book or anything, but that was definitely never going to make anything important there. Now this last one's really odd. This is a Walking Dead 193. It says multiple bend, bottom of front cover. This is really weird. This is one presents beautifully. This is one I don't think I would have missed. So I'm gonna try to get on light for you. But see that indentation right there? That is what they're saying. That is the bend on the front cover. It looks like an indentation. This is definitely a weird one. This is something I would have noticed right off the bat that I don't think I would have sent off. So it's weird, and there's lines that run across the entire front part of the book too. So we're gonna see if we can't do any worse than what we did for that first box. First box had 9, and there were some questionable things in there that were a bit more odd than they normally have been in the past. So we'll see. Hopefully this box can redeem itself. I did have that San Diego Comic-Con #1 and that Darth Vader #3. So those are 2 hot books, so I was happy about those. So in this second box, let's see what we did here. Oh man. Oh no. Oh man. Give me a minute. No. Oh, I should just retire. Just retire. Retire to my farm. Like Thanos had a good idea, right? Just like half the people. Just no. All right. There's not many books in this one either. So I have failed you all, and I apologize for this. This is going to be a great learned experience for sure. So this batch only had, it had 11. We have 11 total 9/8 out of 25. So all in all, we have 20 out of 50 books that got rejected. And I'm frustrated, and I'm trying to justify who I'm frustrated with. It's mostly the situation, and I don't want to let you guys down. And I'm going to learn from this experience, and this will never happen again. First graded book up is going to be a copy of, oh, that's a beautiful book. is the couple of very nice Mac covers in the submission. Marvel Voices Indigenous Voices, the Mac Virgin 1 in 50 ratio variant. So this is a stunning book. Happy that this one came back in a 9.8. Oh, the next book up. Oh, this is hilarious. So if you don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel Previews 95 and the money that it garners. Not because like I'm jealous I don't have one. It's just for me that's hard for me to wrap my mind around that book holds value. But people out there believe it holds value because it's so significant. Granted, he's on the cover and things like that of its like first appearance. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess if Marvel Previews are going to be valuable, let's just go ahead and let's just get one graded for kicks and giggles, right? Because I thought that would be hilarious. I was surprised it fit. This is the funniest thing I think I've ever done on the channel. I love this. This is too funny. So, if you don't know what this means, it really means nothing. This is just really funny. It's actually a great Stegman cover of King of Black #3 with the back of it. Like, it's a sweet Venom, but inside of the book, it's interesting, right? Inside of this book of Marvel Previews 5 is like technically, it's weird. It's like the first appearance of like the High Republic. Because there's a page inside of there. So I just wanted for like kicks and giggles to get this graded. And just because I wanted it. Because I thought it would be hilarious. So yeah, so this is a 9.8. I think it's the only one on the census. And it has the first appearance of the High Republic inside of here. So this is easily worth at least $10,000. So I can retire. Who wants this for $10,000? It can be yours. It's the only one on the census. What else are the terms? Like fire, hotkey, emoji, app. Right? That word you got to add to it. But this is hilarious. This made the cut. Next book up that made the cut is going to be speaking of High Republic #1, this is just the 1 in 10 Blanche cover. Yep, 1 in 10 Blanche cover. Nothing too crazy. And happy this one came back in 9.8. Next book up is going to be a copy of, Mr. and Mrs. X #1. This is just nothing crazy. It's just a 1 in 25 J. Scott Campbell ratio variant that I thought was pretty cool. So, happy that one came back in 9.8. Alright, next up we're going to have speaking of J. Scott Campbell, there are a couple of J. Scott Campbells in here. This is also a Amazing Spider-Man issue #2, the original, the run that's now, just a 1 in 25 J. Scott Campbell cover as well. Moving on, next book up is going to be, this is funny too. This is just a whole funny promo preview. It's just the Bad Idea promotional thing that I just wanted to get graded. So that was pretty fun. Otherwise though, the Bad Idea Company, if you haven't seen, they are going to be ending. They're over. It's all done. Bad Idea is officially ending. It was a great run. I'm proud of you guys. And I look forward to you ending the Bad Idea Company and then relaunching it under a different name with a different distributor to read more of your stories. It's going to be great. I can't wait for you to change the name of the company to Good Idea as a rebranding strategy. It's super clever. But for real, Bad Idea is not really going anywhere. So if you think they really are, shame on you. Next book up is going to be, this is really cool. Star Wars Rise of Kylo Ren #2, the second printing came back in 9.8. Next book up is going to be, very cool. Okay, this is the big hit of the box so far. So this is a nice book to get in a 9.8. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me on Skeff's worst CGC pre-screen haul, because I don't know what I'm doing. I really thought about punting something. I really thought about just kicking something as hard as I could, but that would be bad for the graded books. So don't do that. Oh, hey, that's a win. That's a win. All right. Got both of them. These are I'm glad both these came back in 9.8. That kind of makes up for all the rejects I got in this one. All righty. Next book up is going to be, very cool. So this is Darth Vader #5. This is the first appearance. I forgot their names of these characters. The editor, Skeff, will help me with that one. But this is a 1 in 25, and I do believe it's their first appearance and the first cover appearance as well, because they show up in this issue. But this is a hard one to get back in a 9.8. And the last book is, man, that stinks. So this is actually a connecting cover, where these were both at New York Comic Con of 2018. This one's kind of on me. This is a Liberty Comics #1, 2008 J. Scott Campbell cover, a little bit older cover. There are some stress lines on the back of the book there that I wasn't sure would make it or not, but this is definitely one that will not make the cut. And going forward, I know things of that nature will not be covered. I'll show you what those are. This is another one that I thought was on the cusp as well. There's a scuff on this Walking Dead #26, just a little bit older of a Walking Dead, but I found this in a box. This wasn't bag or boarded. So this has a scuff right where that black mark is. A little indent there. So this is one that was probably my fault. just things that I'm going to learn going forward. At the end of the day, it's a learning experience. The best way to learn is by messing up. This is a really cool Spider-Man Deadpool Del Mundo cover. I thought it was going to make the cut. It only has a small amount of scuffing on the back, but the graded note says that that is way too much for scuffing on that back corner there. So things like that will no longer make the cut anymore. This one's really interesting. This Infinity Wars Prime #1, all it said was canvassing. I thought that was really weird, but I think it just means kind of like wear to the book itself, where it's kind of like wearing down, and it just looks like it, I don't know, it's just odd color on the back, where it's just kind of like lighter in some spots, where it's like kind of like, I don't know, it's really weird. It said canvassing, so I'm just like, must be the whole book. For example, like this rejected second print #1, there was a bend on this bottom right, really minute bend there, that is why it didn't make the cut. Now that's a weird thing with like square bound books, it's much harder to protect, but it was on the back side, so it was just hard to tell. So that was one that definitely cannot be pressed out. Alright, this null version was one I'm kind of upset I missed. This one, as you can see, it presents beautifully, but there is apparently right there at the tip of the sword a little bend that prevented this one from being a 9/8, so a little disappointed in that one. So this is a really cool Spider-Man book. The Adventures, like the hip-hop cover. And this one did not make the cut. It's a small dent back cover. I do believe it's right next to right next to Iron Man's hand. Right there. But that's why that didn't make the cut. So that's something that's super pressable that I will attempt to press and then resubmit that one. But guys, let me know down in the comments below if you like that I go over the rejects. It takes a little bit longer, a little bit more work, but let me know if you find that information helpful to you, a longer comic book journey. If you do, I'll keep doing it. Otherwise, next time I'll just go over the rejects a little bit quicker and just show you what I got rejected, instead of kind of going in-depth detail on why they were rejected. So this is one where I like it's you know, it's hard. It's hard to like go back and you want to make sure you critique yourself as properly as you can. Just 1 to 75 Marvel Voices #1, and there's just this massive indent on this back cover here, where, you know, I would like to give myself a little bit more credit for not missing things like that. Ice Cream Man #1. I was hoping this one would have made the cut, and this one didn't. Only one of them had grader's notes, and the grader's notes on the one of them were color lift, left bottom of front cover, which this one did not have, and then small color lift, top left of front cover. So 2 top left and bottom left, and I just couldn't see what they were talking about. They both look like they're in tremendous shape. The backs, like I said, the backs on these books, look at that, all one color. Everything is pretty obvious. So these are 2 books I'm definitely going to attempt to press and then get regraded. So here's the other half of that Rick and Morty book. This one's really odd. It says small color lift, left bottom of front cover, which would be right around here, but I don't see anything. It also says small color lift, left top of front cover, which I can't find anything on that one as well. So that one's a bit disappointing, since I can't find the defects, which I have been able to find on the other books. And this is one of the books, this the War of the Realms Omega second print was one I was on the fence about, just because it had the color rubbing. So it's one where like you always want to test to see what they're willing to accept for color rubbing, and this is enough where it wouldn't make the cut, and it's gonna be right there by his foot for the color rubbing of what they wouldn't accept for that 9/8. Just a copy of Star Wars Kylo Ren #1, the first print, which is surprisingly a little pricier book, and maybe it has that little right by his helmet, right above my finger, there's going to be just a little spine crease. So that's probably why that didn't make the cut. This one I'm not really sure why it didn't make the cut. It looked like it was in great shape to me, so this one I might just hold on to, learn how to press, and then resubmit it and see what happens. Alright guys, I am out of breath, I am exhausted, I am still a little bit frustrated, but still trying to stay positive. Because at the end of the day, it's just expensive paper, people, with plastic. That's pretty much about it. I still have fun with it. It's still a fun hobby. I still love it. I don't plan on stopping. I'm going to just learn from this failure and move on and get better. Guys, if you stick around to the end of the video, kudos to you. Pat yourself on the back. I thank you for sticking around with me. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found this beneficial to your comic book journey. I hope I was able to help you with the mistakes I made so you don't make them yourself. If you did find any of this helpful, please let me know down in the comments below. Hulk smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Got another auction coming up in the next couple weeks, with another couple good review videos coming up this week as well over some more books and some comic supplies that I may be getting in. So keep an eye out for that. Like always, guys, you are what will make this channel epic to make. And I thank you so much. Skeff, out.